Hi, welcome to Neppy Invest. So another video of stocks to watch in 2021. Now I'm doing a theme-based video series and my first theme was around contrarian plays that I'll be watching in the upcoming year. And this one is about IPOs of 2020 that I'll be watching. Now, when it comes to IPOs, I never buy in straight away in an IPO. I just wait a little bit of time. There's two reasons I wait. First reason I wait is just to see how they're doing, how they're progressing, and I look at the prospectus to see what their aims are for the year and to see if they're achieving those aims. And you can get that by some of their financial reports. And the second thing I wait for or look at is to see how the share price is reacting to the IPO. You get a lot of information from the market and how they view the company just by looking at the share price. So before I get into the list of some of the companies I'll be looking at in the IPOs of 2020, I just want to tell you that the whole point of me doing these videos is to share some ideas, share my ideas with you. And now the next step is you can take these ideas, do a little bit more research because I have limited research in these ideas. Do some research, and then if you like the companies that I've given you some ideas on, you can maybe buy those companies, and maybe those companies fit in with your investing strategy, your investing portfolios. And that's the whole point of this, is to share ideas, because sharing ideas is very powerful. Now that I've gone through that, and the whole reason it's powerful is because, sharing ideas is the whole point of this video, is I'm not a financial advisor. And don't view as any companies I've listed in this video as advice for you to buy. It's just giving you ideas so you can do follow-up research. Now, it's been a really interesting year on the IPO scene on the ASX. And this is exactly what you expect. So I've got a list of the IPOs in each month through the year. And you can see the first half of the year, there was very few IPOs on the ASX. And this is what you would expect when the market is down. The market is very volatile. In fact, you go through one of the quickest bear markets to one of the quickest bull markets. We had approximately about 10 companies IPO in the first half of the year. But when things turn around, when the stock market turns around, more and more companies want to IPO. In fact, some of the companies that IPO in the second half of the year probably were thinking of IPOing in the first half, delayed the IPO to the second half. And we've seen upwards of probably around 60 companies IPO in the second half of the year, and 28 alone in December. That's one per calendar day, and more than one per trading day. So substantial amount of companies that I have to research on, and undoubtedly a lot of people, other people would have to research on too. Now let's get stuck into the companies that are on my IPO watch list. The first one IPO'd on January 24th. So this is early on in the year. This is Cosol. I think that's how I pronounce it, Cosol. Market cap of 103 million. Revenue of 22 million and operating cash flow of 2.9 million. So those few things in itself were attractive to me in isolation. Then when you go sort of expand that and look at the trend in revenue, operating cash flow, profit after tax, you can definitely see on the right there that everything's in an upwards trend. So that gives a massive tick in my book. In fact, group revenue has gone from 7.4 million to 22.2 million. And profit after tax gone from 430,000 to 2.9 million. So it's a big tick. Second thing to look at is the chart. And the market's liking the Cosol story. Share price has gone from as low as about 25 cents in March all the way up to 78 cents. We had a good report, or Cosol had a good report in August. Share price got to 90 cents. It's been a bit of weakness since then, but in the last month or so, we've seen the return to a nice looking uptrend. So this is a company I'll be looking at in the future. It's an enterprise asset management service provider. I'm not sure exactly what that means, what an enterprise asset management service provider does, but this is a company I'm going to research, and I'll research what that actually means. Second company is Atomo Diagnostics. This IPO'd on the 14th of April, and I think this might have been an opportunistic IPO because just what they do, diagnostic kits. So that's very relevant for that time of year, even relevant for now. But I think sort of the air has gone out of this sort of field. You can just see it by the share price has sort of gone into a downtrend over the last 3 months, and right now the share price is almost at its low or historical low. But when you look at the cash flow report on the right there, the Appendix 4C they released in October, they are cash flow positive, only to the tune of 339,000. So they do have some cash coming in the door. But with a market cap of $175 million, it is a little bit more expensive than, say, Cosol, which was operating cash flow positive. Next company is 4D Medical. They have a ticker code 4DX. They IPO'd on the 7th of August. Now, this is a company that has the market really, really interested. They are a medical SaaS company. So SaaS is a sort of a field or a sector that I'm really interested in. And they are a disruptive respiratory diagnostics company. So, I think, if I read correctly, there was $31 billion spent on lung diagnostics in 2019. So you can see the addressable market is quite high just based off how much money was spent. And what they do, it seems like it's very, not only disruptive, it's very much revolutionary for what they do in lung diagnostics. So very exciting company looks like, but the market has become very excited. The IPO offer price was 73 cents and the price now is $2.44. So they don't have much revenue yet, so everything is based off them increasing their revenues over the next few years. And so a lot of, I won't say hope has been priced into the share price of the company, but a lot of interested parties have bought into 4D Medical. The next company is Doug. So they IPO'd on the 10th of August. Now, some of those numbers on the right there, market cap of 113 million, revenue of 49.4 million, and operating cash flow of 7.3 million. Those are pretty good numbers in isolation. So this is on the left-hand side. That is a chart they put in one of their reports, and sort of a chart I really like to look at. I've probably even produced myself. A couple of interesting things about this. So what is Doug? So Doug, one of the things I've found out they do is high performance computing as a service, HPC AAS. Have no idea what that means, but just based off the fact that they've got the average oil price on this chart, they must have something to do with mining services or something. But they've got here the revenue compound annual growth rate 10.2%, EBITDA compound annual growth rate of 12.1%. Those are two things I really like to look at, although I'd rather them use operating cash flow CAGR instead of EBITDA. But we can see a bit of growth, 10% per year over the last 7 or 8 years. So that's okay growth. And with a market cap of 113 million, it doesn't seem that expensive. And the fact that they've got the oil price going down, maybe they're suggesting if the oil price starts going up again, revenue and EBITDA would start increasing for this company as well. So Doug is a company I'm going to do a little bit more research on, just like you might do a little bit more research on for yourself. So this is the share price, and this is probably the one big cross against Doug. So when I looked at Doug, I can see first thing that drew me to this was share price has gone from the top left to the bottom right almost, and that's a bad thing. You don't want to see that. You'll rather see the opposite, going from the bottom left to the top right. That means the share price is in an uptrend. So share price has gone from about $1.50 all the way down to $1.14. So not much loss or so in the share price. But I'd like to see the share price start moving in an upwards trend before I become interested in buying Doug. So in the meantime, I'm going to do a little bit more research in what they do and what high performance computing as a software is actually entail. Last company is SRJ. This IPO'd on the 18th of September. Market cap of 61 million, and just like Doug, you can see the share price graph on the left. It's been going down ever since the IPO, which IPO'd around 75 or 80 cents. Now it's 51 cents. Now what they do is combining innovation and world-class engineering to provide world-free coupling and leak containment solutions for pipeline and process pipework systems. So that's really over my head, but I'm going to do a little bit more research on this company. You can see on the right-hand side, they list their cash flows in, looks like GBP. So it's not an Australian company, it's pounds. And they've only got $93,000 in cash receipts, and they are cash flow negative to the tune of 559,000. So a lot of negatives about this company. So just because it's negatives in my books, maybe you know what this company do. Maybe you're excited by what they do and think there's a lot of potential, a lot of growth moving forward. So fair enough. Do a little bit more research on SRJ. for me, I'll wait for this company to get into an uptrend before I do a little bit more research, or wait wait for the next few quarterly cash flow reports to see if those receipts from customers start going up. Now, during the last half of the year, we saw a lot of IPOs on the ASX, and these are some of the companies that I'd love to talk about, but I'm going to wait a little bit of time to see how they're doing. So we've got Aussie Broadband. I've already talked about clean space respirators on one of my other videos. Plenty, Nuix, Credit Clear, Booktopia, Adore Beauty, Zevit, and MyDeal.com. So hopefully over the next 3 or 4 months, I'll do videos on this. Maybe I'll do a IPO series of videos just looking at these IPOs, because there's 28 in the last month, and I'm going to hopefully go through all of them to see which ones are exciting to me, and maybe I'll do a video on those IPOs. So exciting times if you love IPOs, and at this point in time, a lot of IPOs are happening. So that's all I've got on stocks to watch in 2021, IPOs of 2020 style. Now, if you have any questions, leave it in the comment section. I'll try to answer them as soon as possible, but I'm getting behind in my answering of comments because sometimes there's a lot of comments that appear on my videos. Otherwise, I've already mentioned I'm not a financial advisor, so any stocks I've shown you today, don't take it as advice to buy. The whole point of this video is to give you ideas to do your own research. So that's all for today's video. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.